Right. So basically, I used to live in Israel 2 years ago. I used to study Hebrew, and I'd been living there for 7 months, and I had a lot of friends from South America. So we basically went out clubbing to a really great club called the Balcony in Hebrew, and well, they were all South Americans, so we drank a lot of tequila. We got extremely drunk, and it was called the balcony. So I was pretty much puking all over the balcony, like outside and everything. And all my friends were just there hammering tequila shots, having a good time. Well, I eventually got kicked out, but my Spanish friend, he asked some girls if they wanted to meet his friend, which is me. I was puking, so they didn't, and my and then he asked if they wanted to meet my other friend, this American guy, but he was taking a piss in the corner of the bar, so they also didn't want to meet with him. Eventually, the bouncer came. I got kicked out. I fell asleep. It was in the summer in Israel, so it's really hot. I fell asleep in the bushes outside, which I've never done before, and I woke up at. I'm really really white, so the sun really hurts my skin. I woke up at like 8 in the morning, in the bush. I had no idea where I was. I was super hungover. I had puke all over me, and my face was just hurting because I had been sleeping with my face upwards. I woke up and I had to see where I was. I had no idea, and I look around and I see I have like 40 unanswered calls, and pretty much I look around and see, okay, actually that's the club from yesterday. But the problem is I was a 40-minute cab ride from my home, and I didn't really know where I was. So, and I had no cash left. So I had to go through this like outdoor mall with puke everywhere, and it was like Saturday morning, and everyone was there in the mall like shopping for ice cream, having a good time with their family. And I had to find an ATM because I had no cash. Everyone was looking at me as well because I just had puke everywhere, and I looked like death. Like I'm really white, but I was even more white that day. And eventually, I found an ATM, got some cash, but I couldn't find any taxis. So I still went like to the road, tried to get a taxi, none. So I went to this gas station to ask them if they could call a taxi. They wouldn't. I went to the bathroom to puke. I almost fell asleep, but I was like, okay, I actually need to get home. This was probably 10 in the morning. So I asked again if they could call a cab. They wouldn't. They gave me the number though, and I called. They didn't speak English, so I had to order a cab in Hebrew, even though my Hebrew is pretty much non-existent, um, to a place I had no idea where it was. Eventually, I don't know how, but I called the taxi and it actually arrived. I got in there and he just looked at me, started to converse in Hebrew, but he could see that it was basically impossible because I was so hungover. But he got me where I needed to be, and I got back home, and everyone thought I was dead, but I survived and I got back home. And my grandparents are from Hungary, and I ate there every Saturday. And the thing with Hungary is that they love cabbage, especially pickled cabbage. So I went home to eat there. I had the worst hangovers Saturday night, and that was probably the toughest meal in my life. Just like 15 different kinds of pickled cabbage when you're hungover. That wasn't very successful. I didn't eat that much, but that was quite a rough night and day, and a day after, and the week after, because everyone knew I was the guy who fell asleep and puked everywhere and died in the bush. So my friends they asked where I'd been, and I just told them I hooked up with a girl, pretty much, and they believed me.